Australia is pressing Solomon Islands not to sign a controversial military pact with China as anxiety mounts in Canberra about the Pacific nation's tightening ties with Beijing. Minister for the Pacific, Zed Seselja, made a diplomatic dash to Honiara this week to once again make it clear Australia has deep concerns about the draft agreement. The pact could pave the way for Chinese troops and naval vessels in the developing country. It could also theoretically establish the legal framework for a permanent Chinese military presence down the track in Solomon Islands, a nation which is at a strategically crucial location in the Pacific and only 2,000 kilometres from Australian shores. Now, international missions by ministers during an election campaign are very unusual, and this trip is another demonstration of how determined the federal government is to ensure China doesn't gain a toehold in the Pacific. And while Australia remains a dominant presence in the region, its influence has been eroded by widespread frustration and anger over the coalition's climate change policies, which many Pacific Island nations see as deeply inadequate. Still, when it comes to security, the government says it remains Honiara's #1 choice.
That Australia can fill the security needs and the region working together can make sure that all of the security needs of the Solomon Islands are taken care of. And I would again say that it would be certainly very useful for there to be further dialogue in the region, further consultation in the region.
Australia is not the only power with concerns. The United States has also warned that a Chinese military presence in the strategic hotspot could unsettle the region. America is set to re-establish an embassy in Honiara under the Biden administration to try and reassert its influence in the country. But both Solomon Islands and Chinese authorities say the West has nothing to fear, and Beijing's focus is purely on helping the region to develop.
The security cooperation between China and the Solomon Islands does not target any third party or contradict the Solomon Islands' cooperation with other countries. Relevant countries should view this as an objective and reasonable way, respect the sovereignty and independent decisions of China and the Solomon Islands, avoid provoking confrontation and creating division in the region, and do something conducive to regional stability and development.
We just want to once again remind everyone that every security arrangements blaming whatever partners blaming and still out of our national Solomon Islands national security strategy, and that strategy have go through extensive consultation nationwide.
The balance of power in the Pacific could be shifting.